Hello everyone, this is Azia Boston from Boston DC Connection with cameraman Dr. Sept. Indian social system is still in man's hand in many ways or in many fields, especially agriculture. Today's guest, she broke all barrier to start work at the grassroots level in India with the Indian farmers. By profession, she is a teacher, and that skills she is using to teach organic farming to the Indian farmers and try to switch industrial farming to sustainable farming. And she is here for AID Gala. Welcome at BDC, Revathi ji.
Nice to meet you all. I am very
you.
fine. Thank you for inviting me for the program.
Of course you are. I mean, you are in Boston. How can I miss this chance?
Thank you so much.
So you are coming at AID Gala, which is on September 18th.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So how did you connect with the AID? Let's start from there.
Oh, very nice. Aid is my very good friend, long-term associate, and a co-traveler in this green journey of ours. And Aid volunteers, they provided a lot of support, lot of energy, and they are the real backbone and motivation for us carrying out tough tasks during the disaster areas. We are an expert in disaster recovery mechanism
in India.
In India and even in Sri Lanka, Indonesia. After the tsunami, we are the pioneers in saline land reclamation.
Right.
So traveling is part of our life, and especially as we shown our expertise in disaster area, we travel a lot. And AID is the single organization followed us even. We have no access for phone calls, internet, everything. But AID is the only one organization. Their volunteers, they provided a lot of energy, enthusiasm, support all over our tough journeys.
Which is very good. What kind of work you are doing there?
Basically, because of global warming, this global warming is very major topic discussed everywhere at present, and many summits and other big corporations, everybody is speaking, but the impact is really on the people at the coastal areas and at the end, most vulnerable people, and they don't have any resources at all. And the few things which is left with them is also washed out by the frequent disasters. The impact of global warming is more observed in the coastal areas. So I worked with a large number of farming communities throughout the coast of India, Indonesia, Sri Lanka. These areas often face disasters. And the land is the victim, and the livelihood of the farmers and farming communities is totally upset. So reviving back the land is the main task we carried out so far. And at present also we are engaged in a recovery of lands in the worst affected, flood affected lands of Kadalur. It is also in the coastal area.
So after cyclone or after tsunamis and so how you use that affected land?
Yes, actually the most of the media and the people involved in the disaster recovery or something, they are engaged with the relief mostly. Relief and helping people in just settling back. But in the rehabilitation process only most of the help is required, because the assets, what is the source for their livelihood is totally affected. For example, in our case, we are working with farming communities. I mentioned the farmlands, they completely collapsed. For example, in tsunami, most of the people, they didn't even know about this. It's a technical problem. All the lands became saline. If it crosses 1 millimole, no seeds will germinate. Here it becomes 23 times more salinity. Then farming is impossible. The lands become salt pan, and all the perennial trees and crops, they burnt because of reverse osmosis. The salt water taken all the water content of the plants. So how to reclaim this land and how to proceed, they don't know, because tsunami is new to them. And they don't have any experience, exposure on any technology management
and
skills
they don't have
to face
that much
such
education.
a huge disaster. So those times only the organization support and technical support from people like us is very important for them. So we moved to the places and we started helping them. The recent floods at Kadalur is a coastal town, and farming is the main occupation of most of the people. and most of the population of the Cuddalore district, they are Dalit people. This program is entirely supported by aid. So last 7 months we are doing reclamation there. The disaster, the flood water brings lot of sand into the land. So last week at Florida there was a cyclone and beaches are washed out. So there is no sand. They said, and on my journey I have heard from a co-passenger, I am very much worried. But there in my place what happened, all the sand was deposited on the lands. It's like mountains, 15 feet, 20 feet. Your land is buried inside. And all your houses, motors, borewells, trees, cowshed, everything.
It's too much
so
work
whatever
there,
you have, everything is inside the sand. So if you remove that sand, mountain heaps of sand, then only you can see your mother soil. So that is the only source of income. They don't know anything else. Thousands of years they remained as farmers.
How big this village?
These villages, no, they are 121 villages submerged under sand. 121 and 6
And
blocks.
we never heard in the media what's going on there.
Exactly, because there is a corporation there and they are doing mining work. They are taking coal.
Yeah.
So it's a huge corporation run by the federal government. So they are main source of the culprits of this event. So they're in the transformation stage. So it doesn't have any minerals. And no way you can cultivate in the sandy soil. It's very hot like a desert. Completely the entire agriculture area becomes a desert.
Never heard it from Indian media actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
I can provide you a lot of videos and pictures.
I mean,
in the YouTube we have not reflected. This was
Exactly.
not at all
I mean,
registered. Many of the cases, people thought that. So if you're traveling to people and saying that these places are completely sinked by sand, they couldn't believe it because they thought that during the floods water will come. It was their experience and perception. So sand is coming and this much level of damage to land is unbelievable for them because they are not experienced.
The different organizations who were working from the government to the people. So did you connect with them and ask them to help?
Yeah, definitely, because whatever you do is really a small support or a small it's actually bringing back their original position. But in every area, the issues are coming. It is not because of nature. These are all man-made calamities because of our irresponse and negligence and all our careless efforts. These things are resulted. And this flood, really it was a bless because in the off season we get a good rainfall. During this couple of years, we lost the rainfall pattern completely. There is no seasonal rainfall. Only the cyclonic rainfall is there. So at that time, within several hours, all the water is poured, and the gap between one rain and another rain is prolonging. These are the impacts of global warming. So whenever you are receiving water, it is a bless. So you should be ready and catch it and utilize it in a better way. But you are making it as a curse. So this is the problem. So without educating and guiding and bringing the government and policy makers, politicians, you could not go beyond your rehabilitation. But if you want to permanent solutions, sustainable solutions, definitely you have to educate them, involve them, and certainly it's very important to bring them into the field. So we are trying in every aspect. Advocacy and lobby is very important.
I mean, we cannot work without lobbying, these
exactly.
days. It's not because of we have a big country or things, but this is a system.
Exactly.
We have to follow that. So did you get the good response from these organizations or from government?
Yeah, initially we won't get everywhere. The experience is more or less same. So when we approach the people at the department and governments projecting all these damages, we are the first people at the disaster area. Whenever it happens.
Wow.
So we documented and all the technical data, soil salinity or whatever details, everything we recorded, video record, photo record, interviews of the people and analysis of the samples, and then we are providing a report to the governments, state government and national government and other bodies. So how they have to respond. For that first hand information we are providing, and we are keep on approaching them that they need a support. Really, the field is expecting a quick response from these departments and other stakeholders. But the first couple of weeks there was a big silence in every time, because their priorities are different. And more, I have to say, it was so sad that disasters become the opportunities for many people. It was so cruel. So they make more money by this disasters, and even the governments and officers. So that time only outpouring of lot of resources to a small area. So proper planning is not there, and only for relief most of the resources are spent. But whereas you need a lot of resources for rehabilitation.
Right, but so, there is a social norm in India that if there is a tsunami, if there is a disasters and cyclone and earthquake, was everybody should run and help this and that, and after that everybody is silent.
The first response is very good, very important. It's absolutely necessary, no doubt in it. But only thing is, most of the resources are gone in vain because of dumping it in the initial stage. There is no coordination, completely chaos. We don't have disaster preparedness.
So we are not ready for
we don't have disaster management strategies also.
There is no.
And
these coastal areas always hitting this kind of disasters, and so always. So we are not ready for that.
That is what we lost. But our forefathers know, they are very intelligent and they developed very good systems. I worked in an area called Nagapatnam, a coastal town, where tsunami collapsed the entire area. And it is the region highly affected by tsunami throughout India. 13,000 valuable lives lost. But in that area, one village, completely it was it was not affected in a way the other villages are affected. No single mortality. Lands are damaged, but because of some other reason the lands also get damaged. Otherwise the village is completely protected. You know what happened there? They have a sand dune. So the communities, thousands of years, they built a sand dune. It's man-made sand dune. Really? It's not natural. They have techniques. They make small bunds and they planted the palmyra leaves there. So it becomes the fan. And when the sand is running from the beach, it settles, it hits and it settles there itself. So the wall is growing day by day. And they have soil binding plants. So it helps the soil to fix it. And you couldn't imagine, it's 6 kilometers length and 60 feet height. So even the tsunami waves, they couldn't do anything.
That's a good thing.
Way they have solutions everywhere. But we are the people not listening or not caring about what our forefathers did for thousands of years. These are all time-tested techniques.
Everybody is running in front. Nobody is interested to see back what our forefathers did. How many challenges you are facing right now?
It is really... It will help one way, that is the lands are completely damaged now. So there is no available technique in the public domain. So everybody will listen to you. It is the opportunity for us, not the way I explained earlier. So one thing, they will be receptive at this time. So they will listen to you, how fastly we can recover the lands, what are the techniques available, and why we have to go for the sustainable practices. Everything we explain to them. And we provide a lot of choices. So they will take informed decisions. We are not forcing, we are just facilitating. So according to the season, climate and availability of labor and other skill set, we develop a common plan together. So it is the first step. So first step itself, we remove all the hurdles, most of the hurdles. So from the farming communities, the support and cooperation will be more. because of this intervention, many vested interest people will be get
Yeah.
affected.
Yeah.
So they will create certain problems.
Oh, yeah.
But because of the community support and our long-term commitment to communities,
And the relation,
we can
beautiful
manage.
relation with the
Yeah,
farmers.
we are staying there. Most of the days we stay in the village disaster
good.
area. We live the same life what they live.
Wow.
So that gives a good bondage.
Yep, yep,
So
yep.
we are not staying in city and saying
Yeah,
this and that.
right,
We are
right.
living with them.
See,
We are facing all the challenges
Right.
what they had to settle back, to go
Yeah.
back to their life.
If they are suffering, you are suffering too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that
the
gives
big
more
thing.
bondage.
It's a very, very, very
Yeah,
noble,
emotional bondage.
very noble thing because it's not easy.
Yeah, it's very
not
tough. It's
easy.
very
Yeah,
tough.
it's tough.
And all the
Okay.
22 disasters, I stayed with the communities for months together.
I'm lucky,
uh,
guys, when I'm sitting with her and I have opportunity to talk to him.
Thank you. So far, we trained 11 lakh people. And all the 11 lakh people, most of them I know by name, by their houses, I remember.
So you are 100% in this project,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
in
I
this
don't have any
value
other thing. This is
house.
my way of living. My family also travel. My husband, my son is also traveling with me. So as a family, we are moving. He studied in 17 schools
Oh.
before he completed his higher
this
secondary.
will be my next question. Tell me about your family, because you know it's really hard to go and doing this thing without family.
And
So
being
it's
a woman,
and being a
in
woman,
India,
women
it's
in
very
India
tough.
is very
Yeah,
tough.
it's very tough.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
almost impossible for many women. They want to
Exactly,
do, but they cannot.
Yeah.
So how you do manage all these?
Actually, being a bird watcher, my whole family is engaged all the way for them because of my enthusiasm
Yeah.
and my involvement. Every day I share, I put a lot of information to them. One day my life was becoming very sad because I was a part of a research institute as an associate member. Many dead bodies of birds came to our institute.
Oh, yeah.
They are in the endangered list, and most of them are, many of them are very close to the extinct condition. So we were very much suffered by seeing these things. So what is the reason for it? That was the question in my mind. So the research continued, and finally the papers showed me the farmers are using a lot of pesticides. So these birds, they consume the worms and
Worms,
insects.
right.
So because of bioaccumulation, it affects the birds, and they are also removed from the environment. So this is very shocking to me.
Yeah.
So I immediately switched over to farming area. What is happening really? So why this much poison is poured into our lands? And what happened to our food systems, how it is going to affect the human beings, because in the bioaccumulation pyramid you are the top.
Yep.
So you have more opportunities and chance for become more victim. So I started from there. So every day I shared all the information with my family members. I was emotionally attached.
Yeah.
And India, every 5 minutes, one farmer is committing suicide.
Yes,
And
that's
in the
very
last
sad
10
thing,
years,
yeah.
we lost so many valuable lives. More than 480,000 people. So we traveled to those areas. So very soon my family and my people, husband, friends, everybody, on seeing the people's sufferings, their heart is also gone with them.
Yeah.
So we resigned. Both of us resigned our jobs at the age of 30. Both of us worked under government agencies. He was an aviation officer at that time, an Indian Navy. So both of us quit our jobs. We lost all our identity. We lived in the city. We don't know anything about farming.
Wow.
But we moved out of the city, and we are prepared ourselves
So it's giving me
for
a
this life.
goosebumps. You are doing very noble thing in India, and India really need it.
Shame, even in a
It's a
war,
national
people
shame.
are
I think
not
this is the
lost
good
their
word, yeah.
lives like this. We should ashamed of it.
Yep.
Okay, it's not the suicide, it's the killing actually.
It is killing,
Everybody is responsible for that.
Of course.
So what is the corruption the farmers have done? Okay, they sacrificed their entire life for producing food and supporting communities for generations.
Yep.
Why they have to kill themselves?
Yes.
It's so sad part of
It
it.
is,
If
it
you
is.
Andhra Pradesh or Karnataka, many places, when they open their shirts, you can see the scar. That is, they sold the kidney, okay, for
Oh
bowels
my
or for the
God.
last of the
my
crop.
God.
So this is the hard reality every time we are
Oh my
facing.
God, this
So the
is
media needs
unbelievable.
a person like Amir Khan to speak about it. Then only
Yep.
you will see that program.
Yep.
If I speak, nobody will listen to that.
Right.
For that also you need a person from film industry
Yeah.
speaking about
Yeah,
farming or
everybody
any other
knows that,
thing.
yeah.
Okay, so what we have very little space.
Did you connect with Amir
No,
for the
no.
Satyame Vijayate?
No.
Not yet? Why?
Because they don't have access to connect us. We don't have website so far. We are not putting anything
Okay.
on the media or something because we are engaged in the field. Okay, so we don't have access. Every time we are working in a disaster area,
Right.
so no electricity, no connections. For those people, it is one disaster. After 6 months, they will recover. For us, our life becomes disastrous
Exactly,
because we are
it
specialists
is.
in this part. No,
Yeah.
so one after one disasters are frequent now
Right.
because of all this atrocities
Yeah.
we
Oh
made
my
on
God,
nature.
I'm
So
getting
our
angry
life
right now.
becomes
Yeah.
disaster. So we have to move place to place where these things are happening again and again. So round the year you are not accessible to the external world. So this is our life. So only during the visits like this year, I visited US 5 years back. And all the 5 years, many organizations invited us.
Yeah.
But we don't have choice to come here and spend time. Because educating people at US or sharing your experience is
Yeah.
very wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's a cross learning.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity
Yeah.
for us to capture many things from this field, these
Yep.
fields.
Yep.
So it's very nice. But for that, it's a
Yeah,
it's
you
a
need
very
to
big
live
luxury
there.
for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
must have
Yeah.
the luxury.
Yep.
Otherwise, our time is for home. That is what you have to decide.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful journey, and yes, you are here, and we will meet again on Sunday, September 18, in AID annual gala. So tell me about a little bit about that on 18th.
Yeah, I'm really excited to meet a lot of people there, and they are the real motivators
Yeah.
because our journey is really a tough journey.
Yeah.
And most of our days are with very hot sun, and the situations are not promising many times. But Aid is the friend, a very good partner,
Yep.
and all the time they are with us.
Yeah.
And this togetherness is very important, and they add more meaning to our lives, and they are giving strength to us.
Yep.
So meeting and interacting people at Aid and the real supporters, the financial supporters and the volunteers, they are the great people.
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
them, we couldn't achieve all these results.
Here, BDC, whenever you think I can help you, we are with you. And thank you so much, audience, to listen us. And please give us your feedback. And see you on September 18 at AID Gala, annual gala. Support these genuine people who are really doing the great job from the grassroots in India and from Boston. Thank you so much.